Democratic Services staff will have roving microphones, so please raise your hand when you wish to speak today. I'm just going to start this meeting with the minute silence for Her Majesty the Queen, who passed away. So if you could join me, please. Thank you very much, councillors. I did go and see Her Majesty actually when she was lying, and I'm glad I did when I seen all the things happen afterwards. It's quite a thing. You just don't forget things like that. Now moving on to the agenda. Apologies, Layla, please.
Chairman, I've received apologies from councillors Bartlett, Bruce, Caswell, Cordner, Dudridge, Facey, Gibson, Granter, Hendry, Keane, Lilly, Pay, Pearce, Redman and Scott.
Thank you very much, Layla. Moving now on. Sorry, Councillor Evans.
Yeah, thank you. I just had a text from Gary Wong. He's been called an emergency call, so he won't be able to join us now.
Thank you, Councillor. Jill. How's Slocum?
Godwin Pearson.
Godwin Pearson, right. Moving on to the minutes of the last council meeting. Is it confirmed I can sign it as a correct record? Seconder? Thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor. Declaration of interest. Councillor Slocum?
Same, Chairman.
Same, okay, thank you. Same. Okay, right.
First on prejudicial interest now under the code, so it's an other registrable interest, but you can stay in the room. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Steve, that direction. Thank you. Councillor Filmer, please.
Thank you, Leader. Was just a quick query in terms of these other registrable interests. Do we need to declare like town and parish councils that we're on?
Parish councils would be another registrable interest, but again, you can stay in the room. So if it relates to or affects the town council, just declare it, but you can stay in the room.
Councillor Slocum, please.
Yes, I'm a member of Bridgewater Town Council, which will be relevant today.
Right. Thank you for that, Councillor Slocum. Councillor Smedley. Right. Councillor Leary. Same. Same. Okay. Thank you for that. Councillor Riches.
Thank you. In terms of item 10 on the agenda, can we just have clarification of the position of people who will become unitary councillors in terms of their interest, as that will clearly have an impact on finances for the new authority?
Yep. So County council members have already declared an interest, so other registrable interests, but you can stay. There is an exemption in the code that if you're a member of another public authority, you can stay and participate, so that's fine.
Thank you, Councillor Richards, for that. All clear, thank you. Moving on, Chairman's announcements. Some good announcements, it's not so good today, I suppose you're going to say. So what I'm going to start with today is a minute's silence for Councillor Anne Bound, who passed away last, about 10 days ago now, I think it was. And for those who don't know, their funeral's tomorrow at Wendon, St George's Church, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. And also a staff member, Derek Solway, our new Derek, and sad passing above. So we have a minute's silence for both, would be good, please. Thank you, councillors. If I could just say that Anne Bound had been a Sedgemoor district councillor for a number of years, and she got involved in a lot of things at Bridgewater. And when she made her mind up to do something, she did it. You know, but then she moved on to the county council with a double hatter, and but she achieved an awful lot in her period of time, and she did suffer ill health in the last 18 months. So, God rest her soul. Right, Brian, Councillor Smedley.
I think it's appropriate for the opposition to also extend condolences, and of course we remember Anne Bound working with her. I remember her from 1987 when she won the Eastover seat from us all those years ago, and she's been a feature of Bridgewater public life and political life ever since. So I'd like to express our, from about half the Labour Group's condolences for the friends and family. Okay.
Thank you, Councillor Smedley. Councillor McGinty, please.
Chairman, I'd just like to add my group's thoughts to Councillor Anne Bound and her family, particularly Stephen at this time. She was a staunch and reliable member of the council for many years. She could be difficult at times, but she spoke her mind and was never one to compromise her opinions. And I'm grateful for knowing her.
Thank you, Councillor McGinty. Councillor Evans, please.
Yeah, similarly, on behalf of the Lib Dem group, extend our sympathies to Anne's friends, family, and to the Conservative group. Anne will be remembered as somebody who championed her patch in Bridgewater with a great deal of passion. I particularly remember her contributions regarding the impact of Hinkley Point and the impact on the roads that would lead through her patch. And she spoke up for her community with great passion, and I greatly enjoyed working with her on the Adults and Health Scrutiny Committee at Somerset County Council, and we do extend our sympathies and thoughts at this time.
Thank you for that, Councillor Evans. Moving on a lot lighter note, a recent activity, but I'm going to start off with the Royal Proclamation, which I had to read at King's Square, regarding the introduction of the new king. I can assure you I was very, very nervous. I get nervous anyhow, but I was a lot worse that day. But what made it a lot better was the number of people there and the help from the British Legion. They organised the sound system and everything that needed doing. So in order today to recognise that, we've got a little token here for Sedgemoor District Council to the Royal British Legion. I'm going to now walk to the back and I'm going to let Ray Dickinson this check.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't realise I was doing that.
Hmm?
No, but I didn't realise the British Legion were going to. Yeah.
So I've been to several events now, and they get things organised so well. They take the pressure off the people who've got to do tasks. They really, really do. And I suppose there was about 10 people involved this year, I would have thought, at least something like 10. I went for a quiet drink afterwards down in the place down by the River Parrot. What was it called on the corner?
Oh, yeah, thank you, Fountain Inn.
Fountain Inn. And lo and behold, all the guys walked in about 20 minutes later, and I treated them all with a drink.
Yeah, it was very kind of you, thank you.
What, no problem at all. It's what I always do. People do the right thing, and I do the right thing as well. So on behalf of Sedgemoor District Council, thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Alan. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. And I think we might be seeing some of you down at the opening of Northgate Yard on the 21st of this month. We're putting the sound system up again. Hopefully it will overcome the traffic. When we went down to do a survey this morning, it was pretty loud down there. So anyway, looking forward to doing that. And thank you to the council for this deposit, or this, what's the word I want really, this payment to the Royal British Legion, and I can assure you it will be used for helping local ex-service personnel, which is what we always try and focus on locally. We're the local people, so we want to work locally. And thank you again, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Ray. Don't forget it's Poppy Day coming up as well, right? So dig low. Right. Thank you, Ray. Bye-bye, Jeff. It's been a busy period of time for me, really. When the Queen did pass away, there was a lot of activity at Sedgemoor District Council. I was called in the next day and I sat there for almost 10 hours, I suppose, having known what we had to do and the way things had to be carried out, because they all had to be carried out exactly to a certain time and to the book. It was quite a fascinating experience, which I'm a very proud chairman to have been part of. It was ironic, only 2 days earlier, Sedgemoor held a meeting with a procedure if a member of the royal family passes, and I think by reading that it helps you with some of the roles you had to do afterwards. And when we had to go to Taunton on the Sunday morning, the High Sheriff was there, and they read the proclamation there. Then he distributed it to all the chairmen of various districts, and you went back and you did that in the afternoon. And I did it at King Square, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Duncan was there, fully supporting me, and several officers as well. And I do thank all the officers who made my job a bit easier that day, because I was nervous, and a lot of people it was being analysed, and I had to get everything spot on, because it's not an easy reading to do, actually. It's something that goes back, 400 years, I think. And it hasn't changed a lot. And it took a little bit of doing, but with the support of all the people in Sedgemoor as normal, it went off quite good. Thank you for that. 10 days later, I attended a service memorial at Wells Cathedral in memory of the Queen. That was very well attended and a lovely service. Getting on to other things. Annie Moores, her retirement was on Sunday. And that again was a full cathedral at Wales with all the mayors and the chairmen of district councils there. It was a full house, and that again was a lovely rousing theme, and she gave a lovely speech herself. And I can say that the service that lady gave, and she was in a wheelchair, don't forget. I can remember about 3 months ago walking the Bridgewater and Taunton Canal. And I joined her for a couple of miles, and she was going on at a fair old pace, but, you know, a very, very, very passionate lady about what she was doing. I also attended Bridgewater Fair a fortnight ago, along with the Mayor of Bridgewater. It was a lovely day. I've never seen it so dry at Bridgewater Fair, actually, and a lot of people were there. It was nice to see it back after the COVID. It really, really was. I also went on the Thursday afterwards and presented the Sedgemoor Trophy to the best stall at West Street, and I gave it to a food stall. You probably asked me why. Well, I think water and food in this present period of time is probably the two most important things in life. People didn't want toys, they didn't want slippers, they didn't want jackets. And that's the decision I came to. But this particular food store looked real good, and believe you me, it was good. It really stood out. So that was done. I went to Victoria Park before that, actually, to a Citizens Advice Bureau meeting on the cost of living crisis, and there was several stalls there doing a presentation. I met the Mayor of Bridgewater again. We had a little chat and a cup of coffee like we usually do. And we learned an awful lot of things by talking to some of these people on the stalls, and some of those were manned by employees of Sedgemoor District Council. And also, I mustn't forget this one, I just won a prize. And this is from the shop in the High Street in Bridgewater, Elise and Louis. Barry and Van der Crow's shop, which was opened some 6 weeks ago. I was lucky enough to win a prize. So good luck to them, because there's a few shops starting to reopen in Bridgewater at the moment, and let's hope they have a little bit of good luck in what's going on. We know we're in a crisis of inflation and cost of living and all the rest of it, but you know, I'll just remind you all, when I started in business and I started working myself at 16 and a half, by the time I was 19, I was paying 18 and 19% interest on a mortgage and an overdraft, and that takes some sticking. And when you've been through things like that, you've got a lot of experience of life. And all you can do is pass it on to the next generations, because really, money's been very cheap up to now. Thank you for listening, councillors, right? But a lot of things I don't put on my bit of paper, but I go and do a lot of work. And it does annoy me sometimes. We aren't, Bridgewater Mercury Lab didn't cover anything on that fair last week. And I felt a bit aggrieved, because a very important thing happened as well. For those who don't know, a 10-year agreement was signed to give the Showman's Guild 10-year security, and Bridgewater Town Council security of the fair turning up as well. So it cut both ways. So Sedgemoor will now pass that over to Bridgewater Town, and they will carry on that role next year. So that was the last time you'll see Chairman of Sedgemoor go to Bridgewater Fair. Last time they'll get me on the Walshers with it, and I told the man to slow down, and he did very quickly. Thank you for listening again, all right? I'm sorry I carry on a bit, but I do an awful lot of roles, and I don't think people realize what you do sometimes, and you do cut yourself in halves and jig your life around all these dates. I meet a lot of interesting people, and I hope I carry the flag for Sedgemoor District Council for the last time. Don't forget that. Thank you. Right, moving on. Any public speaking time today? None at all, right? We move to item 6.1 then. Okay, it's a recommendation from the leader of the council on the 27th of June, and I will now hand over to propose the recommendation.
To budgets. There are 7 recommendations, one of which is to note, which is A, the remaining 6 are to approve adjustments and approve carry forwards. And I propose those to the council, Chair.
Councillor Slocum?
Second that.
Seconded, sorry, I got to answer that, but yeah. Any debate, councillors? Councillor Evans?
Thank you. Just a couple of queries I've got. On 8.3, there's the statement there's no section 24 implications. As this is carried under general consent, I wonder whether that could be explained to us in more detail, and have we run that past the section 151 at Somerset County Council, please?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure the corporate director can give an adequate response to that, but yes, we have run it past the officer of the county. Mrs. Turner.
Sorry, can you just repeat which one it was, please?
8 point.
It should comment on 8.3, the sentence, there are no section 24 implications.
Oh, in terms of all of the carry forwards? Yes, we have been in discussion with the section 151 officer at County Council regarding all of our expenditure.
And we're satisfied that that doesn't need ratification by the Somerset County Council executive or officers or political leadership.
Just come back. Any bids that we felt did need section 24, we've submitted an application to Somerset County Council under the process agreed.
Thank you for that, Councillor Evans. Coming back.
And the second one's the monitoring officer comment 9.1, which is that we should follow our established policy except when we don't want to, which is it's justified under exceptional circumstances. Do we have a definition of exceptional circumstances, please? And what are the exceptional circumstances that we are referring to in that statement, please?
Yes, I'm sure we do, and I'm sure the officer responsible will be only too pleased to give you the explanation for 8.9.1.
9.1.
Sorry.
I don't think there is a definition of exceptional circumstances on the basis that they're exceptional, and we couldn't possibly list all of the circumstances that could be exceptional. So that's largely a decision for members to make.
Sorry, I asked for a definition, but also which I do accept that you have no definition as to what can be included as exceptional or not. Are we able to tell us what those exceptional circumstances are in this instance, please? It's my decision.
Can I just say, each of the requests has a different set of circumstances, some of which are, should the money not be spent, then we would lose additional funding. Some are that we would not be able to complete the project, and as a result of which we would not be able to meet our commitments that we've made in previous years. And some of them are carried forward because we've had problems with COVID over the last 2 years and have been unable to fulfill in the period of time that we had originally anticipated.
Thank you for the explanation. I'm happy to support now.
Thank you, Councillor Evans. Thank you, Stevens. Thank you, Alison. Councillor Woodman.
Thank you very much, Chair. I was just going to say that very often it's the ordinary circumstances are explained and everything outside of that is extraordinary, because very often extraordinary circumstances are unknown unknowns.
Thank you, Councillor Woodman. Did you want to come back, Councillor Evans?
Or is it Councillor Rumsfeld? I'm not quite sure.
Thank you for that. Right. No more debate on that. I'll take a vote on this if I could now, please. All those in favour? It's unanimous, looks like it. All those against? No abstentions? Thank you, councillors, for that. Thank you. Now we come to executive question time. Leader of the council, please. Councillor Duncan McGinty. No questions? No questions?
Move on.
Nope, that's good. That's good news. That's good news. Right. Councillor Slocum, Deputy Leader of Rumour Investment and Growth. No questions either. Councillor Caswell sent his apologies. Studridge sent his apologies. Sorry, I've got a question. Councillor Evans for.
Yeah, Councillor Caswell's item 5 on the Bridgewater barrier. I see, unfortunately, that a meeting had to be cancelled due to the passing of Her Majesty. I wonder whether that meeting has been scheduled, or we're obviously keen to understand the delivery timescales of that project. Thank you.
That's a meeting regarding Bridgewater barrier. Right. Councillor McGinty.
I'm unsure as to whether the meeting has taken place, but we'll certainly confirm that unless there's anyone else in the room that has any further information. And if you wish, I'm sure we'll be able to let you know when the meeting is scheduled for if it hasn't occurred already.
Absolutely, very keen to see that project carry on.
Thank you very much for that. Housing, Councillor Andrew Gillen. No questions? Commercial and Asset Management, Councillor Mark Healy. Councillor Brian Smedley.
Yeah, obviously Northgate is mentioned here. I know we're going into exempt session about that later, so I don't want to talk about anything particularly contentious. Obviously, we've supported this all the way down the line. I'm happy to support it because it's an important initiative. You mentioned the opening and the publicity surrounding the opening. I sadly won't be here at the time, but can you assure me that all councillors have been invited to attend this? And in particular, have you invited the Mayor of Bridgewater by office?
I'll have to shout.
Councillor Mark Healy, in response, please. Yeah.
It's behind you.
I'm sure Doug's got an next.
There we are. Thank you very much for that. It's a very good question, Councillor Smedley. One I'm going to actually pass to Director Bamsey, if I may. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. So two parts of the question. Has the Mayor of Bridgewater been invited? I'm pretty certain they have. A range of invites have gone out today. As to all councillors being invited, our thinking is on all councillors that all councillors are more than welcome to come over a more extended period than just the opening, because in fact, whilst this is the first opening, there's a whole series of those, and we're always very open to suggestions about when members want to come round to actually see the city and go behind the scenes, if you like. And we've been very pleased to show a number of councillors around. We're more than happy to extend that to any councillor who wants to come round and have a look after the initial opening. But as I say, there's going to be a series of events that members will be invited to over the coming months. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Doug. Thank you very much. Any more questions? So Councillor Keane, apologies today. Has she given a written report? She did give a written report. Yeah. Councillor Evans.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether Councillor Keane still holds the climate change portfolio, as we've not seen reference to it in any of her recent reports. I wonder whether we could see that in her next report, please.
Yeah, noted. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm sure if Councillor Keane was here today, she will be able to give a full and inclusive report on climate change. But I note your concerns. But one of the ideas I did have with the portfolio holder reports was to keep them shorter and carry things forward to the next meeting rather than bombarding members with all the information in one report. So I will wrap myself on the knuckles.
Thank you, Councillor McGinty.
Or self-immolate as you wish, but I'm just concerned that we've not seen anything over a period of time. So it's very welcome that we now actually see all the reports before the meeting, rather than have them presented to us at the time, and that is a welcome departure.
Thank you very much, members. And moving on, we come to the committee chairman reports. Any questions for Development Committee Chairman, Councillor Bob Filmer? Councillor McGinty?
It's not particularly a question, it's just a comment of congratulation to the development team and planning team for being shortlisted for Planning Authority of the Year.
Fantastic. Well done, everyone on the development committee. It's one I do miss. They say it's over an hour earlier now. Don't worry about that. I had a lot of local knowledge. No questions on that one, right. Moving on, license and general purposes. And Councillor Polly Costello, she's given her apology today, so there will be a written responses if there's any questions. Councillor. I didn't recognise you with your glasses off, Barry.
Oh,
You get like Roy Orbison.
well, it's what you see, isn't it, really? I can just about see you because I haven't got them on. No, any questions, I'll try and answer them.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No questions today. Right, so now we move on. Item number 10. And this is we're going in closed session now, so any members of the press or the public, I'm going to ask them to leave if possible, please. And you will all have papers handed out. And if you could make sure these papers, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to read the papers and afterwards to hand them back in, if you could, please. Councillor McGinty.
Chairman, may I suggest that we go into confidential session because the report that we're about to deliberate over is not for publication by virtue of paragraph 3, part 1 of Schedule 12A to the Local Government Act 1972.
Right.
And happy to second that, and I believe it needs to be voted on as well. Is that correct, Councillor?
All those in favour? All those in favour? Anyone against? Right, so we now go into confidential session. Councillor. Sorry, Councillor. Yeah. Is there any questions without notice? Councillor Woodman. Sorry, right. Okay.
If I may suggest, Chairman, if perhaps at the conclusion of this deliberation on agenda item 10, we revert back into public session. Thank you.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? Is there any questions? Right, good. That brings today's council meeting not quite to a close. I'm just going to say now that our staff everywhere are under a lot of pressure, right? And a lot of patience and tolerance to be exercised, okay? And it's a very difficult period of time, and I think it will get more difficult, if I'm honest, right? And I do ask, you know, for your, when you sort of try and get something, you can't get them. They're stretched all over the place, right? And I wouldn't be wanting where they're too volunteer in China, to be honest. So try and put ourselves in their positions sometimes, and just be tolerant and patient. And on that note, I hope to see some of you at the funeral tomorrow. I'm going to close today's council meeting, and thank you very, very much for attending. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.